The first time I saw him, the air itself seemed to stop breathing. One look, and I knew danger wore a tailored suit. They called him Damian Cruz, the man who owned half the city and crushed the other half for sport. The devil in human skin. I wasn't supposed to be there. The club was off limits, especially to someone like me. But curiosity is a sin that tastes like sugar before it kills you. His eyes found me across the crowded room.
Dark, cold, hungry.
A predator deciding whether I was prey or dessert. I tried to move. I couldn't. Every cell in my body leaned toward him as if he were gravity itself. He didn't walk. He claimed the floor. People parted like they sensed the storm wrapped inside that perfect body. When he finally stopped in front of me, the bass from the music faded until the only sound left was my heartbeat, frantic and reckless. Lost, Angel. His voice was a slow burn, smoke and sin. My name died on my tongue. All I could do was stare at the devil's smile and wonder how many souls it had ruined before mine. Damian tilted his head, studying me like I was already a secret he planned to own. You don't belong here, he said. Then, softer, deadlier. Which is exactly why I want you. I should have run. Instead, I let the devil's favorite temptation begin. Damian didn't ask for my name. He took my hand like he already owned the right to touch me. Heat shot through my veins, a slow poison I couldn't fight. Come upstairs, he said. Not a question. A command wrapped in velvet. The elevator ride felt like an eternity. His body stood inches from mine, close enough to breathe in danger, far enough to make me crave the space between. Every flicker of light across his sharp jaw whispered of sins I couldn't afford. When the door slid open, the noise of the club vanished. Only silence and the thrum of my pulse remained. Damian poured 2 drinks and leaned against the bar like a king surveying his next conquest. You don't belong in places like this, he said again, voice smooth as aged whiskey. But I like it when angels wander into hell. My lips parted. I'm not an angel. His smirk deepened, dark and knowing. Good. Angels break too easily. He stepped closer, his shadow swallowing mine. One touch of his fingers against my wrist sent a shiver that felt like surrender. I should have told him no. Instead, I asked the question that sealed my fate. What do you want from me? His eyes locked on mine, black fire and promise. Everything. The first kiss was a collision of worlds. Soft lips, hard danger, a taste of smoke, sin, and the kind of hunger that erases reason. His hands slid to my waist, pulling me into the heat of a body built for ruin. I felt his power in every breath, every heartbeat slamming against mine. Tell me to stop, Damian murmured. But I couldn't. Instead, I kissed him back, desperate, reckless, like the night itself depended on it. Every rule I'd ever lived by shattered with a scrape of his teeth against my neck. When he finally pulled away, my head spun. The world felt tilted, like gravity had chosen a new master. You taste like trouble, he whispered. Sweet, dangerous trouble. Somewhere deep inside, a voice screamed to run. But the louder sound was the devil's promise humming through my veins. Morning light should have brought clarity. Instead, it burned like judgment. I woke in Damian's penthouse, wrapped in silk sheets that smelled of smoke and temptation. He stood by the window, a shadow carved in gold sunrise. You shouldn't be here, he said without turning. His tone was sharp, but his eyes, when they finally met mine, betrayed a storm. Then why did you bring me? The question slipped out, raw and trembling. He moved closer, each step a warning, because I wanted to see if an angel could survive the dark. I swallowed hard, and Damian traced a finger along my jaw, gentle enough to feel like a threat. You're not an angel. You're worse. You make the devil want to beg. His words wrapped around me like chains, beautiful, deadly. I should have left right then. Instead, I whispered the only truth I could manage. I'm not afraid of you. Damian's smile was lethal. Then you're already mine. Damian's car was a black beast, sleek, silent, and built for speed. The city blurred as we drove, lights streaking like sparks in the dark. "Where are we going?" I asked. "To see what temptation really costs." He guided me through iron gates into a mansion carved from power and shadow. Marble floors, towering windows, and men with eyes like weapons. Every detail screamed dangerous empire. "This is my world," he said, his hand resting lightly on the small of my back. "Once you enter, you don't leave unchanged." His men nodded as we passed. Respect.
Fear.
Both belonged to him. "Are you afraid yet?" Damien asked. But I said no. The lie tasted like fire. He leaned closer, lips grazing my ear.
"Good.
Fear keeps you alive." But I wasn't afraid of death. I was afraid of how alive he made me feel. Dinner was served beneath a crystal chandelier that dripped light like liquid diamonds. But it wasn't the food that stole my breath. It was the way Damien watched me, like a king deciding if his queen was worthy of the crown or the blade. "You think I don't see you," he said. "You hide behind innocence, but your eyes betray hunger." My fork trembled. "And what do you hide?" He smirked, a predator's confession. "Nothing. Everyone here already knows I'm the devil." The room fell silent, heavy with truths I couldn't name. Damien reached across the table, capturing my hand in his. "You could still walk away." I tightened my grip. "And if I stay?" His gaze darkened to something lethal. "Then you belong to me. And I don't share." The words should have scared me. Instead, they felt like a promise I secretly craved. The night shattered with a single gunshot. One moment, laughter. The next, chaos. Damien was on his feet before I could scream, his men forming a wall of muscle and steel. He moved with terrifying precision, calm, calculated, deadly. Through the open doors, I saw a man on the floor, blood pooling like spilled wine. Damien's voice cut through the panic, cold and absolute. "Clean it up." When he turned back to me, his eyes were fire and ice. "This is what loving the devil looks like," he said quietly. "Do you still want me now?" My heart pounded, torn between terror and desire. I should have run. Instead, I whispered the truth that sealed my fate. "Yes." Damien's jaw tightened, a shadow of relief flickering in his dark gaze. "Then pray, angel, because hell just claimed you." The city slept while Damien's world sharpened into war. Every shadow felt alive, every breath a warning. "They'll come for you now," he said, loading a gun with the casual grace of a man born to violence. "You saw too much. You stayed too long." I wrapped my arms around myself. "Then let me go." His head snapped toward me, eyes blazing. "You think I'd let the world touch what's mine?" The room vibrated with his fury, raw, electric. Yet beneath the anger, I saw something far more dangerous. Fear. "Damien," I whispered, stepping closer. "You're not afraid of losing your empire. You're afraid of losing me." He said nothing, but the silence was its own confession. He pressed a cold metal key into my hand. "If anything happens, take the car. Drive until the ocean swallows the road. Don't look back." "I'm not leaving you." His jaw clenched. "Then you're making a deal with the devil. And deals like this always cost blood." The attack came just after midnight. Glass shattered. Gunfire roared. Men in black stormed the mansion like shadows with teeth. Damien moved faster than thought, his gun a flash of silver death. But for every man he dropped, another appeared. One grabbed me from behind. A knife pressed against my throat. "Let her go." Damien's voice cracked the air like thunder. The intruder sneered. "Give up the shipment, Cruz, or she bleeds." I felt the knife tremble as Damien raised his weapon. His eyes locked on mine, cold calculation warring with something softer. Something only I had ever seen. Then he lowered the gun. "Take it," he said. "Take everything. Just leave her." The men fled into the night, their victory dripping like poison. Damien fell to his knees, blood staining his shirt from an injury I hadn't seen. You gave up everything, I choked out. His smile was weak, but wicked. You're worth more than an empire. Days blurred into a haze of antiseptic and whispered threats. Damien survived, barely. But the empire was gone, traded for a single heartbeat. When he finally opened his eyes, the devil's fire still burned. You stayed, he rasped. Of course. You've seen the worst of me, he said, voice like gravel. Every sin, every scar. Tell me why you're still here. I brushed a hand over his cheek, tracing the man beneath the monster. Because hell without you isn't hell. It's emptiness. His lips curved into a shadow of a smile. Then I guess the devil finally found his heaven. He pulled me closer, his kiss tasting of blood, smoke, and something dangerously close to salvation. In that moment I understood. The devil didn't steal my soul. I gave it willingly, and I would do it again.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more dark romance stories.